Hey booktube, it's Jackie. How's it going? If you're new to me and this is the first time you're seeing my face, hello, what's up? My name's Jackie. I sit on my floor and I talk about books. So I hope that's why you're here, because that's what's going to be happening today. If you're not new to me, thank you for always tuning in, the continued support. I really do appreciate it. So today for you, I have a very long-awaited video. This has been a big project, an expensive one, and a very time-consuming one, but it is one that I am very, very proud of, and this is my library. You are about to see me build my library from scratch to completion, and I could not be more proud of it. But before we get into it, I do want to explain just kind of the backstory a little bit about this. When me and my husband moved into this house, this room was originally planned for a baby. And when that option was no longer viable for us, I was a scrapbooker. I've been a scrapbooker since I was a sophomore in high school, and I had all the craft stuff, guys, like paper, embellishments, the Cricut. I had it all, right? I had it all. And over the years, I had slowly fallen off of it, not really done it as much. But I thought once we decided that we weren't going to have any more children, we turned into a craft room, and we did. And for a while, it did serve its purpose. But again, it was a hobby that was no longer holding the same feel for me as it did when I was younger, and my interests changed. I mean, you grow and adapt and you change, and so that happened. And that room just kind of faded away, and then we decided to turn it into a guest room because my daughter was getting older, she was having friends over, we wanted family to come and stay. So we turned into a guest room / office, and that really didn't work out very well because we live much further away than most of our rest of our family, so it's easier for us to go to them than it would be for them to come to us most of the time. So that went off the wayside as well. And then after that, it just pretty much became a catch-all. Like, it just was the room we do not speak of. It was the one that was in the hallway, the door was always shut, and you never talked about it. You never thought about it. And it got to the point where it's like, we need to do something with this thing. And finally, me and my husband sat down, and I had already started my booktube channel at this point, and I had been originally filming in the living room. Then when we rearranged the living room, I had moved my bookshelf so that I was in the dining room, and I was just being kind of moved around these places, and he knew how much it's meant to me, how much my books mean to me. So we decided to turn this into a library, and this is the culmination of many birthday presents and many Christmas presents, and just a lot of work and discussion and talk and time and a lot of effort on my husband, who put together all the bookshelves and put together the chair. And I'm not going to lie to you, probably single-handedly financed this entire room. He worked really hard to give this to me, and I will always be grateful for it. I know I'm very blessed to have a whole room of books. I don't just have a wall or a corner. I have a room with a door and a window and open space and space to fucking grow. I know how bougie this is. I'm fully aware, but my husband gave this to me, and I will always be grateful for it. So a big shout out to you, Lauren. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me, and I love you very much. But without further ado, grab yourself a drink, have yourself a seat, and make sure it's a comfy one. This is a long one, but enjoy the building of my library. He loves me and all my crazy ideas.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Just a smidge?
Just a smidge.
Smidge? Okay. I'm gonna squish your head. Squish. Squish, squish, squish. So the library's coming along a little bit. Just a little bit. It's slow and steady. But the hubby's doing a good job putting the bookshelves together.
I try.
They're looking really nice, though. Nice little corner action going on. That's my bouquet, by the way. It's massive, so it sits in that little hole because we didn't have a corner shelf. So we just stuck it in there, and I think I'm going to do some display stuff up top. So, yeah, it'd be a nice little garden themed in here. I wanted Beauty and the Beast, but I think I'm gonna get the garden part of Beauty and the Beast. So it's cool. I'll check in with you guys later. The guy is loose. No, something. All right. My big strong man husband. All right. Get out of the way. Watch the fan.
It's fine.
Ooh, it looks so nice!
There you go.
You're gonna
Marry them.
yeah. Yay! They're up. Aren't they pretty? The man who did it. He also paid for it. Love you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's my birthday and Christmas present, like, combined a couple of years. So, yay! So exciting. So, I'll be sitting right here, guys. Oop, we missed one. I'll be sitting right here on the floor, talking about books. Surrounded by books. Yeah. It's gonna be epic. Okay, guys, so we are going to start by putting some books on these shelves because a little echoey in here. The design elements are just gonna have to wait. My chair is ordered, so it'll be going right here. Use my ring light there, because we're gonna be sitting for a while, but this is what we're working with, okay? This is what we're working with. So here we go. Yeah. The hoard of books that there is. So that's what we're gonna work with. Let me get you loaded up and let's go. I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. So all the shelves have been wiped down, and I've been thinking about how I'm going to do this because this is where I'm gonna be filming. Okay, guys, this is where I'm gonna be sitting on my floor talking about books. So in the video, you are gonna actually have access to these shelves, some of these, and depending on how far I put my camera out, some of these. So I wanted these shelves to really be stuff that was important to me. Stuff that I've read, stuff that I love, stuff that I recommend, stuff that when you see it, you kind of get an idea of who the fuck I am as a booktuber. But I don't have enough of each one of those items to kind of justify all these big shelves, so we're gonna have to play a little bit. So as you can see, my book hoard's kind of growing a little bit. Now I am going to be having two bookshelves over there in the corner, and those are going to be books that I do not access a lot. Those are going to be my nonfiction books. Those are going to be my probably young adult books, let's just be honest. Sci-fi, those are genres that I don't really tend to go for a lot. However, I do know what I like. I like historical fiction. I like romance. I like specific authors. So what I'm thinking is doing and then also I have a lot of Jackie Kennedy books because my name is Jackie Kennedy, so people buy me these books as, you know, they think it's interesting, and I find that adorable. So if you ever come across a book about Jackie Kennedy, or a historical fiction book about Jackie Kennedy, or the Kennedys in general, or Camelot, that idea, please send it my way. My Amazon wish list is linked in my bio below, but if you see something, you can send it to me. I love that. I love that kind of stuff. But I do have a lot of like Kennedy-themed books and a lot of Arthurian books. I have a lot of Sarah J. Maas books. I have a lot of Scarlett St. Clair books. I have a lot of Christina Marzianis books. So I thought maybe dedicating some of these to my favorite authors, and then maybe some of my genres at the same time. I think that might work out. And that clicking you're hearing is my fan. It's a really shitty fan. I'm actually hoping to replace it with like a chandelier eventually, but that is down the road. So for starters, I think I'm going to start off with, oh, I missed the styrofoam. Oh, you're annoying. I'm gonna be back on the floor when I get done with all this. But I think what I'm going to start off with is, since these are the ones that you're really clearly going to see, and these two, these for sure, I think I'm going to make Scarlett St. Clair, Sarah J. Maas, Christina Marziatis, and then Philippa Gregory. Because those are the authors that I have a lot of their books of. Some I have all of their books, some I don't. Just kind of dedicating it to that. Philippa Gregory is a historical fiction author. If you're not aware of her, she's one of my favorite authors, top 5. And then maybe over here I'll do Jackie Kennedy and Arthurian Legends, because you're going to see a little bit of this shelf, or maybe even down below, kind of see a little bit there. And then maybe my Black Hat Book Coven books, maybe, I don't know, favorites. I'm not quite sure, but these shelves right here, like these half of the shelf, and then these are what you're going to see. So I want them to shine. So let's just get started. I thought about doing it by genre, but I think I might do other stuff by genre. We're just going to dedicate some stuff to this because I have some really cool bookends that I'd like to use too. So we're going to do Arthurian stuff here. I think that'll be good. We'll do Arthurian stuff here. So let's go. So, okay. So here is this guy, that series. Do I want to do, no, I think maybe I'll do it down here. No, I don't know. This is awkward. I don't know what to do. We're going to see a lot of moving around. But I'm going to quit talking and we're going to be zipping through this because this is where it's going to be a lot of stuff. So, yeah, there we go. How's these go together again? I don't remember. Okay. This is the last one. We're just gonna cheat. We're gonna cheat, guys. I don't remember how to go. Alright, Touch of Darkness. Game of Fate. Touch of Ruin. Game of Retribution. Touch of Malice. Game of Gods. Touch of Chaos. Okay. So since I only have the one hardcover, I'm going to put this actually in front of this series because it's cool like that, and it's also autographed. It's autographed. Yeah. Ta-da! And then I've got King of Battle and Blood. There we go. And we got this little series right here. And then we're going to put, or you have my double one right there. There we go. Ta-da! Scarlett St. Clair shelf. Sarah J. Maas shelf. Christina Marziatis shelf. I have more books that need to go here. Philippa Gregory. We're going to do Jennifer Schiavone and Kristen Hanna. I think we're going to do this in the historical fiction over here. We're going to do that. Yeah. I think that's how it's gonna roll, bitches. Alright, and then we'll just work our way up from there, I think. You're probably like, why are you putting like your favorite books down the bottom? Because this is where I film, people. This is where I film. So, yeah. Okay. Cool. We're making moves. Making moves. Shelf. I got my Christina Marzocchi shelf. Yeah, bitch, you get your own fucking shelf. See this? It's all yours. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. So, and then we're gonna have my Black Hat Book Coven shelf up here because you're gonna see at least a little bit of this shelf. I've already got some laid out here. So, we're just gonna go to town and see what we can figure out right now with what's going on, what we got here. Some of these I've already read, some of these are gonna be read. And all that jazz. So, okay, we're gonna organize these just so I can kind of see what I've got going on here. That's all the same author right there. She is the same author. Same author. You can see that there's kind of a theme. Some of these authors tend to be the same. This one, I don't think actually belongs here. I think this one, yeah, I don't think this one belongs here. This one belongs on another shelf that's got put here by mistake. So there we go. And then this one, is this one part of this too? Nope, this one got put there by mistake as well. So, and then, there we go. All right. So, these guys actually got put there by mistake. All right, so let's see. This one's actually going to be the next month's pick. This is The Forgotten Wish by Jessica Dodge. It's my pick. But yeah, there we go. All right, so let's do ones. Okay, let's see. Alex E. Harrow. Fantastic. Have not read this one yet, though. So let's do more historical, I guess, based first. Why are you different sizes? Oh, that's because these are Book of the Month versions. I don't have the Malfi's Curse Book of the Month, but this one is autographed by the author because Laura sent it to me. It's all the pretty version. It's beautiful. But it's a different size than her other books. That's annoying. So when that happens, we do something like this so we can adjust. This is another similar author, Alicia Sanakova Gilmore, and then she wrote The Haunting of Moscow House. I don't necessarily know if this is witchy, but I want to kind of keep the authors together, so we're going to do that. House of Blight. I actually really like this one, so I'm going to be keeping this one. This is a smaller book. Historical, still Witch of Florence. There we go by itself. This one, I don't know if, I feel like this is actually not witchy. But she's immortal, so I feel like that actually kind of works. So we're gonna keep her over here. There we go. And then we've got Amelia Hart. Now, this one is about witches, this one's about sirens, but I'm gonna keep her all together because the whole author keeping together thing, just kind of my thing. Education and Malice. Trying to keep size what is going on here, guys, you know. All right, this was actually a previous pick. This was a previous pick. This was a previous pick. This was, and this was, and this one. So these are all previous picks that I still retained ownership of. And this one. Which one? Not last year's, but the year before. It won. Thank you. We're just going to put those like that. There we go. My eyeball itches. Okay. So, how are we going to get all of these to fit? Is the question. How are we going to make these all fit, guys? I don't exactly know. Okay, this is Resistance of Witches. This is very similar to this concept. So we'll go with there. Witching Tide. This one actually, I think, might actually be horror. No, I'm still feeling that this one needs to belong here. It's a baby book. Spell Shop. There we go. And we've got some stuff right there. And this one's going to be grabbed soon. So we need to make it accessible. So much fun, guys. So much fun. All right, the Witching Tide. There we go. We'll just keep you up there like that. And then previously red ones. Are we keeping? Yes. Oh, forgot one. Spinning. I remember liking this one very much, so I think this might go in the I really liked this one. And I liked this one. papers because I really enjoyed them. So let's see what we can do here to make this work. What can we do to make this work a little bit better? Charlie just joined us. Let's see. This is where it comes in. Where it's difficult. So let's figure out what we're going to do here. Because all of these, not all of these have been read. Not all of these have been read. So I can't remember if I really like this one or not. I don't think. I feel like I really liked this one. I don't remember. Actually going to get picked up soon, so we're going to put it right here. And we're going to put the What You Trades of Death right there. And then got these two. This could go into fantasy, and this technically bought this in the horror section. This one, the horror section, so we might move these up. We'll go with that. So, yay! Black Hat bookshelf is complete with my ladies. So now I need like a mug or something. Hello, Charlie. And you're gonna get fantasy. So there we go. That's one shelf. That's my process, guys. It's kind of crazy. Let's try again, guys. So I got one of my romance bookshelves done. I actually got rid of quite a few romance books, so you'll see it on haul video very, very soon for me. Yeah, because I'm losing space, and the whole point of having a library is that it grows. So I actually need to start getting rid of books that I either read or I don't like, or ones that I'm probably never going to read because it's been sitting on my shelf for years. So I had a plan to kind of go from light to dark. It didn't really work out that way because I have way more of one genre than another. So it's all kind of mishmash. I still have more shelves coming. So this is not the end result, and things might get moved around again. But right now is what I got. So I got like some contemporary stuff up here. Then I've got like professional stuff here, and you know, Western, because they need their own category. Cowboys, Midwest. Sorry, gotcha. I like my cowboys, like my bull riders, it's fine. And then I go down below where I have some historical stuff and more sports stuff. And that kind of combines, you know, young adult versus adult. Yeah, that's kind of funny. And then we get a little bit darker where we have, let's see if I can get this out there. There we go. So we have Mafia Shelf and Sierra Simone. Mafia, Sierra Simone. I wanted to give her and Emo Jones their own shelf, but I don't have space for that. So maybe when my bookshelves come in, I can do that. But then down below, we have the dark underbelly here. So we've got Emo Jones, BDSM, bikers, birthday girl, the dark goddess herself, Pam Godwin, and then some haunting stuff back there. So yeah, that's what that shelf looks like. Now I get to go on to this thing. That's one more bookshelf that has to be put together. So yeah, that's where we're at right now, guys. It's progressing. So there we go. See you guys soon. So I got this shelf done. I still have quite a few books, but more bookshelves are coming in, so we'll figure that out later. But so I've got my fantasy romance nonsense right here, and I got some non-human, some cozy, all the way over to alien. I don't know how I'm actually making this work. And then I've got more retelling sort of based. We got some retelling stuff, and then more retellings, and then my Camelot and Jackie shelf, which is down here at the bottom. So yeah, but this is what I still have to work with. So more bookshelves are coming, but I at least have some of my books on my shelves. That's a plus. That is a huge plus compared to what it was. So, and that's another shelf that needs to get put up. So I think that's going to be, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it just yet, but we'll figure it out. So yeah. Okay. Yay. So Lauren is putting together 2 of the last bookshelves, and then can really start getting this thing going. These new bookshelves are different variations of my original ones. Not excited about that, but they are the same color, the same company. They just didn't make my model anymore, so we're gonna see how this layout works, and if I don't like it, I might have to rearrange, and I don't really want to do that, but it's gonna bother me if I have like mismatched stuff and it looks fucking weird. You know how it goes. So yeah, but he's putting together the last bit of it right now. So yeah, I will show you the carnage that there is right now. So here we go. Quick little video of Charlie. This is his favorite spot on the coffee table. Don't mind the little specks. He got introduced to catnip tonight. So there's the big box. And here's Lauren with all the styrofoam and everything, putting together the last bits of my bookshelves with his little forehead lamp. Yep, there's the other bookshelf. Yay. And this is currently what the library is looking like. It just keeps migrating. We have all these shelves done. But see, I might have to move these 2 because the 2 styles are supposed to go, one's supposed to go there and one's supposed to go here. And then I'll have one of these guys right here. And I'm afraid it'll look mismatched, you know, like weird. So we're going to have to see how that works out. But that's what we're working with so far. This is a big pile of books that needs to be unhauled. Oh yeah. Here's the other bookshelf that still needs to be put together. Books that need to go on shelves. These are all my book of the month books right here, guys. All of them. This pile right here. I got some horror thrillers in there, and then I got young adult back here. So, yeah. And then I got to decorate the top. But I think I might put my penguin cloth bounds up there. I think that might look nice. I'm not quite for sure. We shall see what we do. But, yep. And my Valentine's Day present right there. Yep. And then my chaos. Just chaos. So that is kind of where we're at right now with everything. My library is slowly coming. I might put a chair right here, depending on how it goes, but we'll see. We shall see what happens. We shall see. But, yep. I've got a filing cabinet over here that needs to get moved, and then a record player. So, not quite for sure what I'm gonna do with that. And this chair is actually Elizabeth's. And that's my bouquet that I gotta figure out what the fuck to do with. So, yeah. Never ends. Never ends. Never ending projects, guys.
Don't you just love his little headlight lamp? I bought him that. You remind me of the little lamp in the Pixar that's jumping and you see the one leg.
Over here trying to do something nice and you're talking shit.
Oh, Charlie. He just wants it to be quiet. It's coming along. It's coming along.
Okay, so the 2 new ones are in. This is what I meant by a different one. See how we have shelves? This one has this little angled piece, so you can take a book and set it like that for display purposes. So there's that. Not all, I don't know exactly how I'm going to work with that, but maybe I'll put pictures. Maybe I'll put pictures or something there. That might be kind of cool. Have some pictures, because I think right here is definitely where my chair is going to have to go. There was a plug over here, but now I have access to that one, so that's fine. We can get a standing lamp and then a chair. I just got to figure out the right kind of chair, because this spacing right here is actually pretty narrow. But we shall see. But yeah, there's the last freestanding one. I think I'm going to fill this one first, for sure. But this is still my filming spot over here. And then we'll get to going. We got one more, but it looks like that, and it's going to go over here, and I got to get all this crap cleaned out and figure out what to do with it. But we're going to get these books at least off the floor. They might not be organized on the shelf, but they're going to be off the floor. So then we at least have something to work with. Yeah. So, there we go. Woohoo! Alright, so I've got my 2 other bookshelves up, and I'm about to put books on them. So here's my dilemma, guys. Okay, I think I'm gonna have a chair here. So I'm not gonna be able to access these 2 shelves as often as I want. And this guy is angled. Like, it's angled. So it can hold up magazines, like so. Yeah, I've got one more of these guys. It's gonna go over there. So, but I'm gonna have a little more access to that shelf over there than I will this one. So I'm debating on putting like my non-fiction stuff down here, and yeah, basically my non-fiction, that's my most non-accessible. And then I don't know, I think all my book of the months might fit on these 2 right here. I think they might. And then this guy over here, I'm thinking the rest of the pile that's right here, which is horror, thriller, literary fiction. Literary fiction might even be able to go down there because I don't really read a lot of literary fiction, but I'm feeling like I'm going to. And then young adult, and I feel like I'm having enough book space now that I'm going to be able to spread around, so I might bleed some of that over there, you know, move it on over, because it's a little cramped over there, just a smidgen cramped. But we're going to see what we can work on it with, but that's what we're going to do right now. So I think definitely nonfiction is going to be down here for sure. I think that's a good place definitely to start there. So let's get started. These are for review. They need to go in the review book section. So. This was a good book. Can we read this one? Luminaries. This was 5 stars for me. Excellent. don't really have what I just did there. I don't know really what I just did here, but I've got Dungeon Crawler Carl. Okay, and then Vox Machina and nerd culture. Like, that's what I've got here. That's what nerd. And then up here, I've got my 3 sci-fi books. 3. Count 3. That I know of for sure. And then this Resurrectionist book, which is actually pretty fucking good. I've got a full book review for it. Just because it's so, I don't really know what to do with it kind of book. And then I've got historical magic. I know in my historical fiction I've got magic over there. But this is historical areas with actual magic. I don't know if I have anything over there that should go over here. I might. I don't know. Or if that's 100% fantasy over there. I think that's more 100% fantasy over there. But I'll have to look again and see if I can move some of that over here. I might actually be able to do that. Like Sarah Penner could go over here, but I want her in my viewfinder. I don't know. But now we're going to move on to the shelf, and I'm going to make this horror and thriller. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Because this is also fantasy. So I need to rework my fantasy shelf. For sure. Charlie. Hi, baby. Come on. Why do you look like you've done something bad? Why do you look guilty, huh? Say hello. Hey, Charlie. Okay, so I've got the shelves done. All I have left is my young adult books right here, which will probably go on the shelf. It's going to be right there. And I gotta clean this corner out. And that's that shelf. And then I got this little pile of books, such as Lauren's, some Christmas stuff, and some classics. I have my pagan cloth bounds. I think I'm gonna do my pagan cloth bounds all along the top up here, along with some florals. This is my wedding book. I think I'm gonna leave that there because it kind of looks kind of cool. And then when I get the other bookshelf up here, I might be able to break this up so it's a little bit not so cluttered. There's a lot of duologies and stuff. Maybe take the duologies that I know exist and put them over y'all. But this shelf, we've got horror and then more horror, psychological. I just kind of combined it all. And then that shelf right there, that's T. Kingfisher and Olive Blake. I didn't really know what to do with them because I just didn't. Olive Blake writes in multiple genres. And then these are all my Book of the Month books, which really need to get weeded out because they're taking up a lot of space. A lot of them. And then my unhaul pile is just growing massively, so we're still going to keep growing it. And then over here, we've got an assortment. I've got my nonfiction like before. Then I got literary fiction. And then I always love Brahms' books, the covers of them. I love his artwork. So I finally found a way to kind of display his artwork, which makes me really happy. That's awesome. And then I've got my Dungeon Crawler Carl. Yep. And then I've got nerd, magical history, and then the sci-fi. So, and then when you got that shelf over there. But see how, like, it's full, but it looks really claustrophobic? I want to kind of open up this shelf right here, and I want to open up the fantasy. So I'm thinking, if I open this up, because that little pile right there, those are books that they're fantasy. But I've got a lot of one-off fantasy series that I haven't picked up the rest of the series yet. So I could do like my one-offs over, yeah, so I can have my actual series over here and then maybe like duologies for romantasy. So it'd be like a one-off sort of thing over here. Because I'm not going to be seeing that shelf as much. And you're not going to see it in the videos, period, probably, ever, unless I do a round thing. But me and Lizzie are going to go look for a chair for this spot. Right? Yeah. So, that's where we're at. But it's coming along, guys. It's coming along. Slowly but surely. Got to get one more bookshelf put together. And I got to give that book back to my father-in-law. So, and then I get to work on that nonsense, which a lot of this is probably going to get trashed. I'm not going to lie, most of it's going to get trashed. So, yeah. We'll figure it out. But yeah, there we go. Okay, guys, so I'm back working in the library. We just got the other bookshelf put together, and I've already got my young adult stuff in there. But you see these two shelves here? How they're empty? My cloth-bound books are gonna go above my shelves. They're gonna go in these little above areas back here, which is great. But you see this shelf right behind me? This atrocity that is my fantasy romance? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread it out in these two shelves. It's my plan, which then should theoretically give me more room, because I'll have this open shelf. I can take my fantasy books and unclutter the fuck out of them and spread them over. I also made a dent over here by taking some romance books out so I can rework that. It's still a work in progress. Also, I don't necessarily know if I like the bookshelves like this. We have one here and one here because the chair I'm ordering. So I know I said previously in a previous clip that the chair was ordered. The chair was ordered. I stopped the order because it was no longer going to work with where we were putting it. So I stopped that order and that chair no longer will fit. But the chair I found will fit right here. But see, I have this rando shelf on the wall here and I don't know what to do. Everyone's advising me just to kind of put the books up and sit with it for a little bit until I get the chair, because the chair has to be ordered. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna have this open fucking gap, and that's gonna piss me off. So, what are we gonna do? But yeah, that's what we're working on right now. So that's the progress, but we're gonna see how the fantasy romance breaking up of this shelf right here handles, because, God, is it bad. It's bad. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. But I will check in with you when I'm done with it. I think you've seen enough clips of me putting books on shelves. So, yeah. Let's just get to it. Okay, so the library is finally done, guys. It's finally done. It's been a long time coming, but it is finally put together. The only thing it's not done yet is the decorations, but that is definitely going to be pieces down the road. And I plan on doing a whole video of how I'm decorating it with kind of like ambiance feel, but you're getting a pretty good idea of what it's looking like right now. So I'd like to welcome you to my library officially and my new filming space. So come on in. Here it is, guys. Here it is. It's here. We're actually here. I'm so happy about it. It's awesome. I love it. So let's give you a little bit of a tour. So, yeah, let's just, I don't even know where to start because I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I don't even know where to start. So for, I guess we'll just start here. So we have, this shelf is fantasy, romance, retellings, my Jackie and Camelot stuff. We also have more fantasy here, more fantasy, my Black Hat Book Coven shelf in all its glory, my Christina Marziata shelf, my Sarah J. Maas shelf down at the bottom. We've got historical fiction, ancient Greece and Rome and Egypt. We've got U.S. historical fiction. We've got European historical fiction. Then we, of course, Diana Gabaldon, because Outlander needs its own. And then, of course, my Hades and Persephone section, along with Scarlett Sinclair, because she is one of my faves. Over here is more romance, obviously, because we all know I like the romance. Contemporary stuff, Then we get into like some kind of professional stuff going on here. We get into some religious, historic, Christian romance with some historical romance here, and then kind of bleed into some sports stuff. Mafia and dark, spicy book club section right there, obviously. And then the dark of the dark down here at the bottom. And then we go over to here, where we have my fantasy romance shelf and some fantasy romance series. My Lore Olympus. I love the way that this looked because I was really worried about how these angled shelves were going to work out. And now I can actually display some of my really pretty book covers. So I'm super excited how that worked out. And then we have young adult down there below, and then more young adult down there. So, yay. My chair. Look at this thing, guys. This thing is freaking awesome. Hold on. I gotta move Nugget Teddy. I've had him since before I was born. He's the mascot here. But seriously, look at this thing. This is dope as fuck. This is my TBR basket with this month's TBR, my current read right there. It also folds out into a bed. Shut up. I never have to leave this room. I never actually have to leave this room. It's amazing. So then we get over here where I'm just going to keep my light, but I'll be filming in that corner that you saw me. I've got historical fantasy, historical fiction, I guess. I'm not quite for sure yet. Sci-fi, Dungeon Crawler Carl, and my newest edition of Princess Donut that I painted myself. I did this. This is all me. Awesome. And a nerd, and then I can finally display my Brahm covers because you all know that I am obsessed with his artwork. And then I have my historical fiction, my snack from earlier, because I can have snacks in here. It's amazing. Historical fiction, literary fiction, and then we have nonfiction down there at the bottom. And then right here, I'm gonna eventually do a Galleria wall, so you'll see that soon. I've got some artwork pieces coming in that are really, really reminiscent of my books, of the feel that I like in my books. Really excited about that. And then we come over to here, horror, thriller, movie horror, and then just some kind of odds and ends, and then my book of the month selection, which is going to be whittled down very, very soon. But this is my library, guys. This is it. Oh, and I also have back here, my cloth-bound classics with some of my Funko Pop sets, my Frankenstein, and then we also have Morticia and Gomez. This is my wedding bouquet. I've said that multiple times in the video, but I just think it feels really, really cool. My koala and my white tiger that my dad got me when he was overseas, when he was in the Navy. So this is just kind of me in a nutshell. Like, this is me. This is me, guys. And this is my library. And I will show you all the new additions that come later on because I will be I'm thinking about maybe doing a chandelier with the gallery wall and some decorative pieces. And then these pieces were actually in my wedding. So I'm bringing some of my wedding decorations back in here because my husband did pay for all of this and he put all the shelves together. He did such an excellent job. I'm very, very proud of him. And I'm very, very thankful for all of this that he did and letting me have this room because we easily could have turned it into a video game room, but he decided to let me have it. So I love you, babe. Thank you so much. He's actually standing behind the camera right now, trying not to smile because I'm telling him how much I love him. So, but yeah, this is my library, and this is where I'll be sitting every time talking about books. This is it. So, thank you for joining me on the start to finish. It was a long, long process, guys. It really was. But thank you for tolerating it with me. And if you got here to the end, thanks. And I hope to use this so much and to do a lot of really cool things with it. So I've got a lot of plans coming up for some really future videos that really focus on the shelves, what's been read, what's not been read. But yeah, I have a library, something I've wanted since I was 5 years old. I finally have a library. That's my own. I love you, Lauren. Thank you.
I love you too.
I'll see you guys all soon with another video. Hey guys, welcome back. That was a long one. I know. But did you really expect anything else from me? I mean, really. Did you? Before I let you go, there's just one thing I want to share with you guys. If you've been following me at all, you know that I like Arthurian legend retellings. this idea of Camelot, this ultimate fantasy fairy tale space. Also, my name is Jackie Kennedy, the whole Kennedy Camelot angle thing, it falls into place. But the thing is, I was always obsessed with Camelot because it's the ultimate fairy tale. It is. It's this place where justice reigns, and there's dragons and kings and queens, and there's a lot of stuff. But to me, it's always been the ultimate fairy tale spot. And me sitting in my library, I finally have my Camelot. Sometimes fairy tales really do come true. I will see you guys all soon. Really soon. I love you all.